It's the final series of the regular season. Kingsmen baseball is back on the air. It's Kingsmen varsity ball here this afternoon between the Kingsmen and the Eastern Carolina Academy Bobcats. Thanks for joining us this morning here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. I'm Griffin Leonard, wherever you may be. Thanks for choosing the Kingsmen Baseball Academy here on this Tuesday morning. We've got a triple header for the first time in Kingsmen Baseball Academy history. We will have 3 games played today. First of 3 coming at you hot, starting here in just a couple of minutes. It's the Kingsmen and the Bobcats. Max Rayleigh on the mound for the Kingsmen, facing off against Sam Lopez. We'll take you through both starting lineups in just a few minutes. We'll step aside and be back here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network, game 1 of 3 today between the Kingsmen and the Bobcats. I'm Griffin Leonard along with the ride here with you this fine Tuesday in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Eastern Carolina, the Academy, the site of today's ball games. Let's go through the Kingsmen starting lineup. Batting 9 today, managed by Preston Hudak, as always at the varsity level. Caden McNeil is the leadoff man in center field, then Logan Daniel, the shortstop. Dino Catani in left, Christian Burney, the cleanup man at third. Brody Wynant is in right. Harris Clark, the first baseman. 7-hole hitter is the catcher, Jack Catron, followed by the DH, Nemo Barnes, and Eli Thomas playing second. Nemo will pitch in Game 2 of today's varsity doubleheader. He is the designated hitter for the pitcher in Game 1, which is Max Raley. Just about ready to get things started here. Sam Lopez on the mound, out of the windup, and his first pitch. An inside half strike, 0-1. Sam Lopez on the mound for ECA. He's ahead of McNeil 0-1, but misses inside. The count is even. Lopez out of Princeton, North Carolina. 2027 right-hand arm. 1-1 pitch. A breaking ball that goes to the backstop. 2 balls and 1 strike. Catcher for ECA today is Tegan Nickerson. He's catching Sam Lopez. 2 balls and a strike. Out of the windup once more. And McNeil hits it into left center field. Long run for Estevez. And that ball is into the gap and off the wall. McNeil rolls around second. He's going to try for third. That ball bobbled by the shortstop, and he'll be in there. Aggressive out of the jump for McNeil, and he's got a triple. Would have been interesting to see how close that play would have been at third if Summerlin had come up with the baseball. The short hop came in from the outfield, and the shortstop was unable to corral it, allowing McNeil to dive in without a throw. He's on third with nobody out for Logan Daniel. And Daniel takes one at the knees. Outfield for ECA, Estevez, who is active early. Weeks also trailed him into the corner, and then Cornegay is in right field. 0-1. And now an even count. Infield for the Bobcats here at home wearing the orange uniforms. Johnson is at third, Summerlin the shortstop, Wiggins at second, and Liriano is at first base. 1-1 pitch is low. Once again, it's Nickerson catching Lopez, the starting battery. 2 balls and a strike. Logan Daniel, the Kingsmen shortstop, trying to get the scoring started early. There's a line drive, left center, base hit. McNeil walks home. Daniel gonna roll around and try for 2. The cut is not in time. The throw was caught by Summerlin, who did not throw to second. Kingsmen aggressive on the base paths early, and they have 2 extra base hits right out of the gate to give them the early lead. 1-1 against ECA this season. They lost a tight one up in East Cobb at the start of the ABA regular season. Non-conference game here about a month ago now that they won comfortably, looking for more results like that game. Catani goes after the first pitch, pops it shallow left center. Over to it, the center fielder Weeks, and he makes the catch moving to his right before depositing the throw down to third base. So 1 out. Kingsman aggressive and shooting fly balls into the outfield. That one hung up just enough for Bryce Weeks. It's a breaking ball just off the plate for Christian Burney. Burney, the third baseman out of Florida. Had a big week last week across the various games he was involved in, trying to start off this series with a bang. Thought about going after that 1-0. And they say he did go around with the swing. It's 1-1. Base umpire out at second, so it would have been tough to see if he had much of a better angle than the home plate umpire. Runner on second, 1 out, 1-1. And a foul tip into the glove of Tegan Nickerson to make it 1-2. Brody Wynant is on deck, followed by Harris Clark. The Kingsmen have scored here in the first inning. Two-strike pitch. Burney skies it, first base side of the infield. Coming way in, the right fielder makes the catch. A couple steps into right. Cornegay has it for out number 2, and Daniel has to hold at second base. With that first inning run, the Kingsmen have scored in the first inning of 3 of their last 4 games. Brody Wynant hits a foul ball to start the at-bat. Wynant trying to heat up here at the plate. He had a hit in his last game against P27. That's a ball. And that gets in there for a called strike to make it 1-1. 1-2, excuse me. Runner on the move, but a swinging strike, and Wynant down to end the inning. So 2 extra base hits give the Kingsmen the lead. Lopez retires 3 in a row to keep Daniel stranded in scoring position. Kingsmen strike first here in Goldsboro. We'll be right back as Max Raley prepares to take the mound here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Bottom 1 here in Goldsboro. Max Raley is on the mound for the Kingsmen, facing Landry Cornier. First up, right on right matchup. First pitch is popped foul to the first base side of the infield. Jack Catron behind the plate today for the Kingsmen, catching Max Raley out of Florence. Both Catron and Raley has some family in attendance here this morning in Goldsboro. 0-1, outside corner strike. That's a good fastball for Max Raley. It's 0-2. ECA has Cornegay, Liriano, and Summerlin. The first 3 coming to the plate here in the bottom of the first. It's the right fielder who made a catch for the second out of the inning, who has an 0-2 count here. And a pop-up, another one back of home plate and out of the field of play. It's Cornegay, Liriano, Summerlin, then Jamison Stroud, Clark Johnson, Alex Estevez. Final 3 in the order, Tegan Nickerson, Bryce Weeks, and Mac Wiggins. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Raley's right-hand wind-up pitch and a foul ball that spawned into 2 by the looks of it. I'm going to watch the replay here. I take it there was a ball wedged into the backstop, and that ball hit it, unlodging the both of them. 1-2 it is still, and now it is 2-2. That one by Jack Catron.
I know.
Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now it is 2-2. There is a scoreboard here at the ECA complex, but it's in the right field corner. There's a tree that is blocking about half of it from my view. So going to do my best to keep up with the count the best I can. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out. Rayleigh had Cornegay 0-2, but now the count is full. Max Liriano on deck, the first baseman. 3-2 pitch. And it is a walk to start things off. Talking to Preston Hudak and Nick Osborne before the series, saying that, you know, if they can keep the ball over the plate and have good at-bats, then they should be able to take care of business with the talent the Kingsmen have on the field. Going to need to limit the walks. A leadoff walk here in the first inning. Breaking ball, a good one, but an even better take from Liriano, 1-0. Max Rayleigh making his 9th start of the season. His 1-0 is outside. Catron goes to first. Back standing up goes Cornegay. Rayleigh is 4-2 on the year. In his 8 starts, 22 innings pitched. An ERA just above 5. 2-0. And now 3 balls and no strikes. A few in a row off the plate from the Florence right-hander. Rayleigh will be looking to reestablish himself in the zone here, behind in the count. And he dots the middle of the zone. 3 balls and a strike. CJ Summerlin on deck, the ECA shortstop. There's a quick throw over to first, but just back in time goes Cornegay. And another throw. Liriano had an RBI single when these two teams played in East Cobb. He was 1 for 3 with a walk and a ribby. Another throw. Rayleigh trying to keep Cornegay on that first base bag. Been a while since we've seen a pitch to the plate. It is 3-1 with nobody out. Outside corner, a strike called, and back to first goes Landry Cornegay once again. Pretty good lead over there at first. Count is full. Middle infield of Daniel and Thomas. We'll see if they're tested in addition to Jack Catron. And another one. The count is full. With nobody out, Rayleigh looking for his first runner on the move. The ball is on the outside corner. They ring up Liriano. It's a stolen base to put Cornegay on second. Ball got the very outer edge of the zone. So 1 out here. First strikeout of the game for Rayleigh. Cornegay has a stolen base to put him in scoring position. Breaking ball away, 1-0. And Rayleigh has been called for a balk. That pitch was on the outside corner, likely for a strike, but a balk was called to move Cornegay over to third. One ball, no strikes. The balk puts the runner on third, 90 feet away from tying this game. Strike on the outside corner. It looked like a safety squeeze was on. Summerlin briefly squared around to bunt, but pulled it back. One. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Despite the leadoff walk and the runner since advancing to third, Max Rayleigh has gotten himself back in the zone with a strikeout, and now he has 2 strikes on C.J. Summerlin. Jamison Stroud, the designated hitter, on deck. 2-strike pitch. Breaking ball, fouled off to the screen. Another 1-2. Fly ball right field, hooking foul and over the fence out of play. Rayleigh started against Grace Academy this last Friday. That game against the Lions, he pitched 2 innings, got the win in the contest, gave up just 1 hit, 1 run came in to score, struck out a hitter as well. The appearance before that was the Shining Star when he had 7 strikeouts. No runs given up against P27 as part of that doubleheader sweep. You could say arguably one of the best days of the Kingsmen varsity season. 1-2. And another pop-up. ECA's hitters making Rayleigh work here in the first. That is 20 pitches here in the first inning for Max Rayleigh. And this is just his 3rd batter. This will be number 21 to bring the average to 7 per hitter here in the early going. 1-2. Outside corner, strike 3. Rayleigh wins the battle. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. And he's still got to deal with Jamison Stroud, but Cornegay has not had the opportunity to score. Got to get 1 more to get out of this inning unscathed. The Kingsmen going to bring 6, 7, and 8. Here in the top of the second. There's an outside just off the corner. Looked pretty good from up here, but called outside. Clark, Cation, and Barnes, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. It's a foul ball to make it 1-1. Lopez watching on from the dugout, hoping the Bobcats can tie this ball game. There's a chopper up the middle. Long play for Daniel. Comes across the diamond and makes a heck of a play to get out of the inning. A long way for the shortstop to go, but the ground ball took him toward the bag. And it's Daniel and the Kingsmen who get out of the inning as Rayleigh walks aboard the leadoff man but retires 3 in a row to avoid the run coming in to score. It's 1-0. We'll head to the second here in Goldsboro on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back for the top of the second. It's 1-0 here in Goldsboro. Varsity Conference action on the air for you this morning from Goldsboro, North Carolina. Harris Clark sends the 1-0 to deep left. No doubt about it. Harris Clark, who did not have a home run for the Kingsmen 5 days ago, has 2 in his last 2 games. A solo shot, the Kingsmen's 3rd hit and their 3rd extra base hit of the ball game. And that makes it 2-0.
Who let Harris get hot? Who let Harris get hot?
An absolute tank to left field. Here's Jack Catron. And Catron trying to do the same. Ended up with a foul tip strike 0-1 on a hefty hack. Kingsmen come into the game 4-5 at the varsity level in conference. Breaking ball away, got the outside corner, and I think there would have been the swing either way. ECA comes in 1-8 on a 7-game losing streak. That is just outside for ball 2. Or rather, ball 1. It is 1-2. In fact, ECA's only ABA win came against the Kingsmen in East Cobb. Oh, and that's an outside corner, strike 3 call for out number 1. So 1 out after the strikeout. Nehemiah Barnes, the designated hitter. He takes a fastball that was downstairs, blocked by the catcher. Everybody makes the postseason at the varsity level. It'll be a pool play tournament. Yet to hear officially how the seeding is going to work. My understanding is the divisions will not have an impact on how the seeding is formed. It will be more based on regular season record. There's a ground ball foul to the left side. There are only 4 teams in the quote-unquote Northern Division. The Kingsmen, Georgia Premier, ECA, and P27. Those 4 will all square off in Lexington next week, just as they did in East Cobb. That's a ball to make it 3-2. And that is strike number 2, excuse me. You know, the count is just not with it right now. It's unfortunate. You know, 11:30 in the morning, still getting adjusted to the road trip here. But it is now 3-2. And it is now ball 4. Catron walks, or rather Barnes walks, for another base runner for the Kingsmen. First walk of the game for Sam Lopez. Mentioned it earlier in right field, there is a scoreboard here at ECA, but it's largely blocked by a giant tree down the line. If anybody has an axe, let me know. It may help with getting the count correct. There's a ball low and away to Eli Thomas, bottom of the Kingsmen order. Runner on first and 1 out for the Kingsmen here in the second. And ball 2 to Eli Thomas. Thomas had a big game on Friday. 2 hits. He had a couple of really nice plays at the second base position. He's found himself back in the starting lineup here this morning. 2-0, took it on the corner. 2 balls and a strike. It's been interesting to see how these ABA standings have kind of shaped up over the course of this season. The varsity division been largely dominated by the teams in the South. There's a pop-up high on the third base side of the infield. Johnson into fair territory makes the catch. There's out number 2. A pop-out for the second out. It'll be the top of the order for McNeil.
Like if you come to a baseball game, actually don't.
Top 4 in the ABA varsity division right now. Central Point Clubhouse Commanders, P27, and then Florida Travel Ball Bulls. The Kingsmen in the 6th spot. Highest out of the teams that are not above 500 in the varsity division. McNeil trying to bunt himself aboard. Now throw down to first. Back safely goes Barnes. The ball was outside, so it is 1-0. Meanwhile, on the prospect side of things, the Kingsmen in a 3-way tie for first place in the ABA. Exciting as we get down toward the end of the regular season. That's ball number 2. Kingsmen and Dominion both off this week in conference action. Of course, the Kingsmen prospect team will be playing. Actually, it's just the Kingsmen that have the week off. Dominion is at P27 this week. There's a line drive hooking toward right center field. Long run for Weeks, and it's into the gap. Here comes Barnes around third. McNeil sprinting around second, looking for another triple. He slides in, and the run scores. What a stat line for Caden McNeil. 2 triples in 2 innings. And it's 3-0. You thought they might hold him at second just to make sure there wasn't the opportunity for an out on the base paths. As that ball inside to Daniel. Of course, if the runner is tagged out before the run comes in to score, then that run wouldn't have counted. Two balls and no strikes to Logan Daniel. The Kingsmen opting to stay aggressive, and McNeil will love the numbers that he's putting up right now. Daniel had an extra base hit his first time, had a double in the left center that he sprinted out. He's still ahead in the count, but it is now 2-1. Inside for ball 3. Before the triple was talking about the schedule of the prospect division. Georgia Premier at A3 this week, Dominion at P27. Those are the games to watch if you're looking at the Kingsmen seeding. And it's just outside, and a walk here with 2 away to keep the inning alive for Dino Catani. This will be the 7th hitter to the plate in the second inning for the Kingsmen, who are already 3 hitters deep into the order the second time around. Here comes the assistant coach of ECA. We'll step aside for a minute Actually, we'll stick around here, keep talking ABA baseball. 2 outs in the top of the second inning, 3-0. The Kingsmen off this week for Prospect. They'll play 3 games next week in the round robin. There's a decent chance, depending on how these series go this week with Georgia Premier and with DSC, that the Kingsmen will have the opportunity to play for the 1 seed next week in Lexington, South Carolina. Still yet to be sure, because we will need to see how those other results shake out. But the Kingsmen on the Prospect side will play ECA, Rays Collegiate, and then Georgia Premier. Meanwhile, the varsity team, P27 on Tuesday, then Georgia Premier and ECA to wrap up the regular season. Back here, and a ball for ball 1 to Dino Catani. One-0. In the dirt, McNeil was ready to hustle, but the ball was blocked backhand side by the catcher Nickerson. Hitters count for Catani, who loves to swing it. He won't get the chance this time. It is 3-0. Christian Burney, who flew out to right his first time, is on deck. If the Kingsmen get one more, Catani flew out to center. See if he has the green light here with the count 3-0. He did not. That is a fastball right down the middle for strike number 1. I'd like to thank those of you who are joining us today for Kingsmen Conference Baseball here at the varsity level. It's ABA action, Kingsmen and ECA. 3-1 to Catani. And a ball just outside. Daniel was running, but he can slow up here because Catani is walking to first. Back-to-back walks here with 2 outs after the McNeil RBI triple. That means the bases are loaded now for Christian Burney, who's got some pretty good pop in the bat. Just like the rest of this meat of the order. Out of the windup once again, the pitch from Lopez is a breaking ball left high, and it's 1-0. Christian Burney does not have a home run for the varsity team. We've seen plenty of power for the Prospect guys, though. 1-0 on the inside corner to make it 1-1. Burney hitting .343 at the varsity level, 12 hits and 35 at-bats, all singles. One. Burney fouls it off to the backstop. Because he does not have an extra base hit, his slugging percentage is the same as his batting average, .343. Trying to change that here. 1-2. Hits it high in the air to the right side, and it is foul. Been really good getting on base, though, for the Kingsmen. An on-base percentage of .468. It's good for 5th on the team. Another 2-strike pitch from Lopez. And Burney hits it into center. Coming in on it is Weeks, and Weeks has the catch to strand the bases loaded as Burney slapped the Harris Clark home run. And it ended with the Caden McNeil triple. 4 extra base hits for the Kingsmen in 2 innings. And we'll go to the bottom half. It's 3-0 here in Goldsboro.
talking about?
Bottom two here in Goldsboro. Max Rayleigh starts Clark Johnson with a ball low of the zone. Rayleigh walked the leadoff man in the bottom of the first, then got 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Cornegay had gotten over to third base but did not score. It's 3-0 now here at ECA. There's a strike on the inner half to make it 1-1. The Kingsmen and Eastern Carolina Academy squaring off at the varsity level for the 3rd time this season, the first of 3 games in this series. Doubleheader to be played today, then a single game tomorrow for the varsity guys. That is in the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike. Prospect team, well, they're not playing any conference games this week, are playing in the non-conference. They're playing 1 game today, 1 game tomorrow. Today's game against ECA's premier team, so it should be a pretty good test for the Prospect guys. It's at the knees, 2-2. Kingsmen have had some success this season against some of the ABA premier and some of the premier teams in general that they've played this season, beating P27 earlier on in the year. Pretty good win at Caramont. 2-strike pitch, a breaking ball taken low. Kingsmen played, when they were out in Houston, played the Bennett School's premier team. Unable to get the win there, but particularly in game 1 of that 2-game set. Oh, so close to getting the job done. Looked really good. Rayleigh hits the bottom of the zone. He's got looking strikeout number 3. All 3 of his strikeouts have been with the hitter's bat on their shoulder. Here comes Coach Joe Hudak to talk to Rayleigh, who is at 30 pitches so far here in an inning and a third. Long day for the Kingsmen here today. Mentioned it at the top of the show, but this is the first day in Kingsmen Baseball Academy history that they are playing 3 games in a single day. 2 varsity games, 1 prospect game. Coaches and myself, but everyone looking forward to what they hope to be a good few ball games between these 2 teams. Rayleigh back on the mound after the mound visit. 1 out. And Alex Estevez is the hitter, batting right-hand side. First pitch from Rayleigh. That's tapped into shallow left. Long run for the shortstop, Daniel. And he makes the catch. Some pep in his step, jumping toward that one, and he makes the catch on the pop-out for out number 2. Caught a few steps into left, but no chance for the left fielder Catani to come into it. Bernie didn't quite get to the ball that was hit behind him, and Daniel, with a better angle, made the catch out of the 3 of them. So here's Tegan Nickerson, 5 in a row, retired in a row by Max Rayleigh. There's a changeup that got in there for strike number 1. Last time the Kingsmen played ECA here at the varsity level, it was here in Goldsboro, non-conference game. The Kingsmen jumped all over the Bobcats. A 5-spot and a 6-spot over the course of that ball game. A traditional conference game would have seen them walk out with a 12-2 Mercy Rule win. They ended up playing the 7 to get some extra reps and some extra innings in for the pitchers. Ended up winning the ball game 12-3. Outside corner, a called strike. 1-2 with 2 outs. Max Rayleigh Mentioned at the start of this inning, a leadoff walk in the first, but since then has been lights out. He's trying to get... Yes. Rayleigh gets him in order, and he has 4 strikeouts through 2 innings. We head to the third. It's a 3-0 lead for the Kingsmen. Now look for more when we come back. It's Varsity Conference Baseball here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here for the third inning as Brody Winant gets his second hacks of the ballgame. 3-0 here in Kingsman Country. Ball outside from Sam Lopez, who is back on the mound for his third inning of work. We apologize for a little bit of buffering in that last half inning. Made some adjustments. Hopefully, we will see a little bit better here in the third. Of course, Goldsboro, not quite in the middle of nowhere, but certainly not a heavy populated area like Gastonia, as that ball popped up first base side, foul ground, but caught by Liriano to get Winant for out number 1. One out for Harris Clark, who in his first at-bat left the yard. First pitch. Trying to do so again, but he swung through the breaking ball. It's 0-1. And that ball in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Catron on deck. The Nemo Barnes of the Kingsmen avoid bringing just the minimum to the plate here in the third. Out of the windup, the 1-1 pitch is high for ball 2 from Sam Lopez. ECA with some bullpen action. Got their home bullpen way out in left field over the fence. 2-1. Low and in. 3 balls and 1 strike. There's a elevated bench out there in left center field. You can see it a little bit. The varsity players that are not into pitch right now, as that one's on the outside corner to Clark to make it 3-2, are sitting out there, and I initially thought that maybe it was some of the older guys coming to support, but they've got the bullpen out there. So they're just chilling. 3-2. And that sails to the backstop. Might have been a strike if the plate was 90 feet away instead of the traditional 60. It's ball 4. Catron has a man on first with 1 out. He struck out his first time trying to find bat on ball here in the third. Outside half strike. Good location on the heater from Sam Lopez. It's 0-1. Clark with a conservative lead at first base. He'll freeze as that ball is sky high, first base side of the infield. Second baseman all the way over in shallow right. That ball is down, but it's collected by the right fielder, and they go to second to get the easy out. Tough one for Clark. Nothing he can do there. It is a fielder's choice on what should have been a pretty clear-cut catch for out number 2 to get Catron. Instead, Catron will reach and immediately be run for a courtesy runner, Matthew De La Cruz. De La Cruz running back to first. He got a big secondary. There's a strike. Ball 2 here to Nemo Barnes. Two one to Nemo. Runner on the move. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second is a good one. And the tag. They've got him. Nice throw by Tegan Nickerson. And they get De La Cruz trying to steal second to end the inning. Kingsmen do not score in the third. We head to the bottom half. We'll be right back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here in Goldsboro for the bottom of the third. ECA gets the Kingsmen without a run for the first time in the top half. Max Rayleigh trying to stay hot here in the bottom of inning number 3, facing 8-9-1. Weeks takes the ball to start the frame. It squared to bunt, pulled it back. 1 ball, no strikes. That's outside for ball number 2. With the 2 innings that Rayleigh has pitched, he has taken back the innings lead for the Kingsmen at 24 innings pitched this year. And looked awkward after that pitch. Preston Hudak on his way out to make sure that his starting pitcher is okay. Has his hands on his knees. And now standing back up. He's going to throw a couple pitches, make sure he's okay here. He immediately asked for the baseball back. but of course, precaution of paramount importance. That first warm-up looked better than the first two we saw him throw in the third. I think he's okay, and the Udaks agree. Rayleigh making his 9th start of the season, the 2027 uncommitted arm out of Florence, South Carolina. He's been the Kingsman #1 starter in a lot of categories over the course of this season. Rayleigh and Nemo Barnes, the two main starters for this Kingsman varsity team. Rayleigh back on the mound and Weeks back in the box, but it is 3-0. .30 pitch and a 4-pitch walk. So a walk leads off the third just like it did the first. That breaks the streak for Rayleigh that he had retired 6 in a row. Let's see if he can start a new streak here against Mac Wiggins. Out of the stretch with the man on first. In the dirt, Catron blocked it, but it was out in front, and down to second, standing up goes Weeks on the wild pitch. Runner in scoring position here with nobody out. Rayleigh talking to the dugout after that one. He's throwing 5 balls in a row to start this third inning. Line drive right center field. That's a strike. And that's an out. Winan fires it into the infield to make sure the runner is unable to tag. Weeks sticks around on second. That's a fly out for out number 1. And Rayleigh a step in the right direction. Now we'll face the top of the order for the second time. Landry Cornegay walked and was stranded on third his first time. Slider low and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Coming up on noon local here in Goldsboro, North Carolina. About 3 hours from Gastonia, east of Raleigh. (1-0). Swing and a miss, and the count is even to the ECA right fielder. See if Sam Lopez gets a 4th inning. There's been some bullpen warm-up action out in left field for the home Bobcats, but Lopez made quick work of the Kingsmen in the third. That's high. Catron was out of his crouch to make sure he was ready for a throw if necessary, but the runner stood on second base. Two and 1 is the count. Daniel backs off a second. Rayleigh staring at that runner and now spins but does not throw. ECA looking for its first run of this first game. The Kingsmen and the Bobcats going to get pretty familiar with each other over the course of the next couple of days. That is outside for ball 3. Coach Hudak walking back to the mound. Once again, talking with Rayleigh right before walking out, and a quick word to the umpire to say that this is injury related. And I could hear it from up here. Not sure if you caught it on the camera, but Max Rayleigh saying it got worse. And he is going to come out of this game for A.J. Griffith. Griffith is going to warm up here in the third. The Kingsmen going to make a change earlier than they would have wanted to. But Max Rayleigh, 2 1/3 really good innings, making sure that he is all right long term. We're going to take a break here. AJ Griffith going to have as long as he needs to warm up for the Kingsmen. Good afternoon, everybody. Back here with the commentary on the broadcast. Had gone down in the dugout to make sure Max was all right. He's sitting down there and appears to be okay, but is out of the game. AJ Griffith in and pitching now to the three-hole hitter, CJ Summerlin. Griffith Coming in mid-count to Cornegay, who walked for the second time. Then he got Liriano to fly out to left field. Catani made a nice catch. They nearly doubled up Bryce Weeks, who is on second. A tying run at the plate. And that ball hit in the air to center and caught for the out. That's out number 3. A.J. Griffith gets a couple flyouts to get out of the jam. We head to the 4th. It is 3-0 here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Fourth inning here in Goldsboro, and it's Nemo Barnes. Takes a ball to start the frame. Sam Lopez is indeed back on the mound in the 4th. ECA was warming up a pitcher in case he got into further trouble, as Barnes sends one into deep center, but it is playable for Weeks, and there's the first out of the inning. Kingsmen have looked good through the first 3, trying to win their second game of the season against Eastern Carolina Academy. Bobcats have not scored yet in this ball game, though they have had a couple of runners in scoring position. The Kingsmen, actually both teams, as that ball flared out to right field for Cornegay, and 2 outs as Eli Thomas is out for out number 2. Neither team has a single in this ball game. Neither team has hit a single in this game, which is kind of a funny stat. ECA's only 3 base runners have come on walks. The Kingsmen have 4 hits in this ball game, but they are all extra base hits. This man has 2 of them. McNeil takes a breaking ball for a strike. Caden McNeil has 2 triples in this ball game. Don't think I've said that one too many times. That's low and away for ball number 1. The count is even. First 2 hitters both out with the flyout. Lopez getting the bottom of the order. Now 1 and 2. McNeil has seen exclusively breaking balls. And I can't say I blame Sam Lopez and the Bobcats. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Daniels on deck. The pitch. Breaking ball. Bottom of the zone. Got him. Excellent spinner from Sam Lopez. He's through 4, and he's gotten out of the inning without any runs in the last 2. We head to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 here in Goldsboro. We'll be back Varsity Baseball here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Bottom of inning number 4 here, 3-0. A.J. Griffith back on the mound after relieving Max Raley in the last frame. Griffith out of the windup against the 4-5-6 hitters. Behind 1-0 to Jamison Stroud, who grounded out to end the first inning. That chopper up the middle that was nicely played by Logan Daniel, who's at shortstop. Breaking ball just downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Thanks to those watching, wherever you may be, here on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Shout out Mason Ritzma, one of the prospect players that will be heading to the ballpark a little bit later for the Kingsman prospect battle, looking for a W, just like the varsity team looking for a couple here this afternoon. 2 balls and 1 strike. That ball tapped to shortstop on 1 hop for Daniel, who goes to first. And for the second time in a row, Daniel with the infield assist to get Jamison Stroud. It's the first out of the 4th inning. Clark Johnson up with the bases clear. Line drive center field. McNeil misjudged it. It's over his head. And into deep center. McNeil and Catani way out there to the fence to track it down. All the way to third goes Clark Johnson. A mistake in the outfield by Caden McNeil. It's hit hard on a line, and McNeil sprinting in off the jump, thinking he was going to be able to cut it off before it landed in front of him. Instead, it carried up and over his head. So a massive swing here in the inning. Instead of 2 outs here in the 4th, it is a runner on third and 1 away for Alex Estevez.
I didn't watch it. I just heard it and I saw him running.
See if Griffith goes out of the windup here, and he does with a runner on third base. Curveball, strike 1. Still 3-0 here in this ball game. Runner on third and 1 out. And that is outside for a ball. Two balls and 1 strike here, 1 away. A.J. Griffith, a relief appearance, is expected to pitch at some point in this series, in a little bit earlier, I'm sure, than he would have preferred. And strike number 2, Griffith making his 10th appearance out of the bullpen this year for the Kingsmen. Has given up just 11 hits prior to coming into the ballgame here today. He's got 2 strikes on Estevez, who is 0 for 1. Pop up, first base side foul. Out of the windup, the pitch. High for a ball. It's 3-2. Full count, trying to get Estevez with Tegan Nickerson on deck. Griffith comes set and is 3-2. Breaking ball just missed the zone, and it is a walk. Back-to-back reach for ECA. An error and a walk put runners on the corners. Nickerson up with third and first, one away, and the tying run at the plate. Runner squares to bunt. Bunts it in fair territory. Catron gonna apply the tag. They've got him at the plate. Heads up play Jack Catron. And there are 2 outs. A fielder's choice. They get the runner at home. Estevez up to second. Nickerson is on first base now. That ball was bunted fair, but it was only fair by a foot or two. And Catron, fielding the ball, leaped to his left to get Clark Johnson, who was cut down trying to score ECA's first run. 2 away for Bryce Weeks. And a ball high to start the at-bat. We have seen some exceptional plays from the Kingsmen catchers over the course of this season. Kingsmen have been blessed with a lot of talent at that position across their 2 teams. There's a breaking ball blocked by Catron, and it is 2-0. Hitters count for Weeks, who walked his first time. Mac Wiggins on deck if ECA gets to the bottom of the order here in the 4th. 2-0 fastball, inside edge. Called a strike to make it 2-1. And high for ball 3. Hitters count the 3-1. High for a ball. It's another walk. The Kingsmen have played a very good baseball game in the first 4 innings of this one, but the walks have been one thing that they will undoubtedly be trying to contain. Joe Hudak on his way to the mound, the 9-hole hitter coming up to the plate. With the bases loaded, 2 of those 3 have reached with the free pass. We'll step aside for a minute, be back. Wiggins with the bases loaded and 2 outs when we return. Back on the mound, Griffith after the mound visit. First pitch swinging, right-hand side, line drive, and it's into the outfield. Unable to be cut off by McNeil. 2-run score. The bases are cleared by the 9-hole hitter, Mac Wiggins. 1 pitch after the mound visit, we are tied here in Goldsboro. Perfectly placed with the line drive. Just past the glove of Thomas, and then with that outfield that is unforgiving, the ball just did not slow down. McNeil and Winan could not cut it off. and 3 runs scored. Here's the top of the order. Ball 1. 3 runs on the double to tie this ball game. ECA looking for their first win in the ABA since East Cobb when they defeated the Kingsmen. That was a different level of confidence around that Kingsmen varsity team. This team has really come together in the last month or so, been playing with a little bit more swagger, but they might have to work for this opening game, as we are seeing with the current scoreline. 1 ball and 1 strike against Landry Cornegay, who has walked twice. That breaking ball missed inside, 2-1. The Kingsmen in the top of the 5th will bring 2, 3, 4 to the plate. Daniel, Catani, and Bernie. Some capable hitters to try to take the lead back. There's a tapper to the first base side. Griffith is off the mound, but it's mishandled by Clark. Runner halfway between third and home. Catron to third, and now they've got him on a rundown. Bernie chasing him back toward the plate. Catron will throw it to third. Here comes Logan Daniels. The runner sprints to the plate. It's off of the base runner, and he scores. They'll try to score the second, and he comes in. An absolute disaster. And ECA leads by 2 runs. It started with the Harris Clark error. Two different errors on that play. And that's ball 1 to Max Liriana. Line drive left field, a base hit in front of Catani. And ECA has opened the floodgates here in the 4th inning. Runner on first, and still 2 away. Griffith starts. CJ Summerlin with a strike. I'm going to recap that wild play that scored the 2 runs one more time, just for those who might be confused as to what exactly happened. 0-1 from Griffith. Breaking ball high. Catron throws to first, but not in time. It was a ground ball to the first baseman with the runner on second. The runner had moved to third on that ground ball. He came around third and tried to score when Clark had bobbled it at first base. The Kingsmen had him in a rundown. Meanwhile, as the runner takes off, swing and a miss, throw down to second from Catron is not in time. It's a stolen base, and it is 1-2. Meanwhile, during that rundown, the runner who hit the ground ball moved from first all the way around to third because of the time it took the Kingsmen to accomplish that rundown. Logan Daniel was running the base runner toward the plate, threw it home to try to get him out, and the ball hit the base runner. There's a swing and a miss to end the inning. That ball, after it had hit the base runner, squirted away. The runner who is on third, coming all the way around after hitting the ground ball, came in to score as well. 5 runs in the inning. Kingsmen down for the first time today. They'll try to take the lead back when we come back here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here in the top of the 5th, new pitcher in for the ECA Bobcats. It's Chase Chrisman. Throws the first pitch ball to Logan Daniel, ran inside on the Kingsmen shortstop. You just join us or just rejoin us. It is a 2-run lead for ECA. There's a swing and a miss to make it 1-1. Kingsmen with a tough inning defensively. All 5 of those runs unearned. There's a chopper over the pitcher. Shortstop coming in. Summerlin to first in time to get Daniel. That's a nice play from the ECA number 55. 1 out here in the inning. And now Dino Catani. There's a ball outside. 1-0. Catani rips it down the first base line. It's a fair ball. The right fielder, Cornegay, got over there, and it'll limit Catani to a single. But it's a base hit for the Kingsmen with 1 away in the 5th to bring the tying run to the plate. Catani reaches for the 2nd time in a row after he reached on the walk his last time around. Chase Chrisman, excuse me. He's thrown 4 pitches. Here's the 5th to Bernie. That's a ball. Tying run at the plate. Bernie has hit the ball hard a couple of times. He hit it on a line to center field his last time. He was caught to end the 2nd. 2nd is the last inning the Kingsmen scored in. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Catani, a good lead off of first base. That's up the middle, off of the mound. Chance for 2. They go to 2nd for 1, not in time to get Bernie. Catani slid into 2nd, I think, a little bit late, and he will hobble off the field as a result, but is jogging off under his own power. And now Catani jogging back to 2nd. He may have been called safe there. It was a really awkward play. I'm watching it back right now. The shortstop took the ground ball, and I don't think they ever actually went to 2nd base. Catani slid in, and he seemed to think he was out. But no, the shortstop never got to 2nd base and then threw to first, not in time to get Bernie. So that's an infield hit, folks. The ball hit the mound and redirected. So 2nd and first, Brody Winan 0 for 2 has the tying runs aboard. Took a ball inside to make it 1-0. It was a tough one to see from even up here. An awkward ground ball. Chopper. Foul. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Kingsmen down by 2 here in Goldsboro in the 5th inning after taking a 3-0 lead. A 5 spot in the bottom of the 4th made things difficult. Just off the outside corner, that's ball 3. Hitters count for the Kingsmen. Brody Winan trying to reach for the first time. Harris Clark, a hot bat for the Kingsmen, is on deck. They have the chance to strike back with a big inning of their own. Here is the 3-1 to Brody. Winan up the middle, a base hit into center. Weeks has it. 90 feet for each Kingsman base runner. Catani stops at third. It's a base hit to load the bases. That is 3 hits in a row for the Kingsmen. Brody Winan slaps the 3-1 right back up the middle. And now the bases are loaded for Harris Clark with the tying run at second and the go-ahead at first. Big chance for the Gold and Black here in the 5th inning. First pitch to Harris. And that is inside off of the umpire. And a run is going to come in on the wild pitch to make it 5-4. Home plate umpire immediately calling time. He was hit by that ball and seemed shaken up. The umpire is down by the first base bag just off your screen. Just making sure that the man in charge of calling balls and strikes is okay to continue in this one. Once again, it was a wild pitch. Tailed inside of the catcher's mitt, solidly struck the left leg of our home plate umpire, who is all right. Coach Joe Hudak on his way out to talk to him. Clark still at the plate. Just as the runner came in to score, both Bernie and Winan moved 90 feet. So first base is now unoccupied. The Kingsmen have runners on second and third with 1 out. And Harris Clark with a chance to give the Kingsmen the lead back with the base hit. The home plate umpire still shaken up and taking some time. The pitcher, because of the delay, going to throw a couple. Get back into the swing of things here. Chase Chrisman on the mound in relief of Sam Lopez, who pitched 4 innings, was beat up a little bit early, but recovered well and locked in for his last 2 innings on the mound. The Kingsmen have 3 hits in a row here in the 5th. Harris Clark with a home run in his first at-bat. Trying to come up in a big spot once more to complete the comeback. 1-0, he went after it and came up empty.
Hey, you got Harris. Come on.
1-1 outside. Two balls and 1 strike. Runners on second and third with 1 out. And a foul ball to make it 2-2.
You got it. Hey, man, gotta put it on this way. 2-0.
2-2 to Harris. Line drive left field, hooking toward the corner. It's fair. Bernie scores. Winan scores. Clark towards second, and he slides in. 2-run double. The Kingsmen take the lead back on 4 hits in a row. And Harris Clark has his second extra base hit of the afternoon. It is 6-5 here in Goldsboro. First pitch swinging for Catron, but he lines it to the second baseman, and he's out for the second out of the inning. Nemo Barnes, the designated hitter, his third time to the plate. The Kingsmen answered 5 from ECA with 3 of their own here in the top of the 5th to retake the lead. Barnes takes a strike. 0-1. And ball 1 to even the count. In the bottom of the 5th, it will be Stroud, Johnson, and Estevez. After ECA batted through the order in the 4th inning. And a ball to make it 2-1. Barnes a walk and a fly out. Eli Thomas on deck at the bottom of the order. That gets to the backstop. Runner to third. Clark on the wild pitch. Three and 1 is the count with 2 away to Nemo. And he grounds one. Third base side. Tough play for the shortstop. He has no throw. Infield hit for Nemo Barnes. Scores another. And it's 7-5. Here's Eli Thomas wearing the number 42 here this afternoon. He takes the ball inside.
Let's go, Eli.
Runner on first with 2 outs. And that is just low for ball number 2. Two balls and no strikes to Thomas, bottom of the order before McNeil comes up for the 4th time. That is ball 3. The Kingsmen have had 5 of their last 6 reach base. The only one not to, Catron, but he hit the ball just as hard as some of the Kingsmen who did reach. 5 hits in this inning. There's a strike. See if A.J. Griffith comes back out in the 5th. Haven't seen any bullpen action from the Kingsmen. A lot of games this week between the Kingsmen varsity and the prospect teams. That one hit Thomas, I believe, on the hand. So the top of the order will come to the plate here in inning number 5.
Good game. On the phone. Give me 2 out here, Chase. You gotta give me something this time, one. On the phone now.
McNeil with a big day. Has runners on second and first. 2 outs, and now he's hit by the pitch. Back-to-back hit by pitches on back-to-back pitches by Chase Chrisman. That loads the bases. A couple of really long half innings in this ball game.
Let's go, Logan. Where you want to be, 2-piece?
Here comes the ECA assistant coach. Your score here in the 5th inning, 7-5. Kingsmen have had to work for this one. After a big 4th inning for the Bobcats of ECA, who have won just 1 game in the ABA season, but it was against the Kingsmen.
Good ball game, 2. Go, Deuce.
After the mound visit, here's an opportunity for Logan Daniel. And he grounds the first pitch, or he hits it high out to left. That ball caught. Off the bat, it looked like it was chopped straight down, but he actually hit it into the air to left field. I apologize. It's a catch to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's a big one for the Kingsmen that score 4 to respond to ECA. They lead once more. We'll be right back here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Here in the bottom of the 5th, A.J. Griffith back on the mound, and before we see a pitch thrown in the 5th, Preston Hudak jogs out to right. Caden McNeil also converging over. They're both walking toward Brody Winan, who's standing out in right field right now. The concern does appear to be for Brody Winan, who is standing on his feet out there. No appearance of injury. But it further delays the beginning of this bottom of the fifth. Winan walking off the field. I think we're going to have a defensive change here. Matt De La Cruz jogging out to left. He's going to come into this ball game and play left field. Meanwhile, it looks like McNeil is going to move, going to stay in center. And Catani is in right. So we are back. We do have the defensive change, and now the first pitch of the bottom of the fifth, 1-0, a ball in the dirt to Jamison Stroud. So defensively for the Kingsmen, Landon Catani now in right field. Matt De La Cruz is into left. Unsure what the issue is for Brody Winan. Won't speculate on it from up here. There's a strike at the top of the zone, 1-1. A.J. Griffith, another inning on the mound after coming in for Max Raley. After the strike, he dots in the curveball at the knees, and it's 1-2.
One ball, 2 strikes.
One and two from Griffith. Curveball sat on and popped to shallow left field. De La Cruz got a late jump on it coming in, and it lands in front of him. It would have been a tough play regardless, but Stroud's got the leadoff single. Just a ton of offense. Over the last couple of innings, ECA scoring 5 in the bottom of the fourth, and then the Kingsmen answering back with 4 in the top of the fifth. That is high. Ball upstairs, caught by Catron. Clark Johnson is the hitter. Reached on an error to center field. That kick started the beginning in the fourth. Kingsman trying to have a cleaner bottom 5. That ball ran away from the zone outside, and it's quickly 2 balls and no strikes to Johnson. Still have 2 more games to be played after this afternoon. Game 2 for Varsity immediately following, and then it'll be the Prospect non-conference game against ECA's premier team to wrap up the night. Might be calling a night game by the time we're done here tonight. See how long this triple header goes. There's a strike at the top of the zone. Good location on it from A.J. Griffith. A quick look around the league here at the Premier Division. P27 at TNXL this week. Wellington Sports Academy on the road. Long trip for the Gators up to the Generals of PDG in Virginia. Georgia Premier also battling A3 this week at the Premier level. Prospect Division sees 3 matchups, 2 of which hyper important to the Kingsmen, but the third of which always important as well. TNXL and Central Point in the first of what will be 3 games of battle. The Ducks up 5-4 right now in that series opener. As Griffith checks on the runner at first base. Georgia Premier at A3, Dominion Sports Collective at P27. Both Georgia Premier and DSC tied with the Kingsmen at the top of the ABA. There's a blooper towards short. It bounces in front. Daniel to the bag himself. Throws to first. Double play. Logan Daniel doing it himself. Two quick outs here in the fifth after the leadoff single. Logan Daniel taking charge of the infield as the shortstop. Thomas was over there to cover second, but Daniel took it to the bag himself and then made a leaping throw to get Clark Johnson by a half step. 2 outs for Alex Estevez. And a ball outside, high and away. That's a strike on the outside corner to make it 0-1. There's a swing for strike number 2. And there is a cold strike 3 to get Estevez. How about A.J. Griffith? And how about Logan Daniel? The Kingsmen picking each other up, turn the inning around, and no runs from the fifth for ECA. We head to the sixth, the 2-run ball game here in Roxboro. Back here for the top of the sixth. It's a 2-run ball game here in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Kingsman with Dino Cateni leading off the sixth inning. He's taken now 2 balls in a row to start the inning. It's Cateni, Bernie, and Wyden. 3, 4, and 5. Dino Cateni now the right fielder for the Kingsmen. De La Cruz into the game. There's a diving attempt by the first baseman Liriano, but he cannot get to that ground ball. It's a base hit for Dino. Second hit of the ball game for Cateni, and he is on first with nobody out. Line drive on the first pitch, deep left. Bernie sending back the left fielder. It's off the glove. Catani to third. Bernie cooking for second, and the base is unoccupied by the defense. Christian Bernie, we'll see how it's scored, but I think it's going to be a double. It was off the glove of the left fielder leaping for the ball. It wasn't quite a dive, but it was a tough play. And if that is a double, it's another extra base hit for Christian Bernie, but it's his first extra base hit, as we mentioned earlier. It's Christian Bernie's first extra base hit of the season playing for Varsity. The co-home run leader on the prospect team did not have anything but a single for the Kingsmen this season with the Varsity team. He now has a double, and here is Matt De La Cruz hitting in place of Brody Winant, who exited the game in the last half inning. A couple of injury scares, potentially, for the Kingsmen. Max Raley pulled midway through his start. There's a swing and a miss from De La Cruz, makes it 1-1. Infield is in for the home team. That is just inside. 2-1. So Bernie is at second. Ahead of him is Catani. The Kingsmen have two in scoring position here with nobody out. De La Cruz takes ball 3. Harris Clark is on deck, and he has hit the lights out today. A home run and a double for Harris. Kingsmen trying to wrestle back control of this ball game. They felt and looked comfortable through the first 3 or 4 innings. 3-1 for De La Cruz. And he takes ball 4. The Kingsmen were only up 3-0 when we went to the bottom of the 4th. But it felt, at least from up here, like more than that. They felt in complete control. A couple of errors turned this game around completely. ECA led by 2. The Kingsmen have scored the last 4, and with nobody out here in the 6th, they're threatening to add to its lead, but not before a pitching change for the Bobcats. Third pitcher on the mound as Chrisman exits. We'll be right back on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here in Goldsboro. Bases loaded, nobody out for Harris Clark. First pitch, a foul ball. It is Clark versus Clark. Here in the 6th inning, Max Clark, the left-hander out of Hampstead, North Carolina, is on the mound in a 2-run game. ECA very much still in this ball game, but they need to find a way to retire Harris Clark for the first time. 0-1. Clark hits a high fly ball to left, playable for Estevez. Deep, and Catani tagging. No throw to the plate, a sacrifice fly for the first run of the 6th inning. It's 8-5. Clark likely wanted more with the way he's been swinging the bat, but that does the job. It's a 3-run game. Here comes Jack Catron with runners on 2nd and 1st and 1 away. 6th appearance for Clark, the left-handed pitcher, Clark, that is. He's made 2 starts for the Bobcats. First pitch from the lefty to Catron is flared off to the right side. It's foul. 13 strikeouts to just 8 walks this season. ERA of 5.52 for Max Clark. Oh, 1. Catron, another foul ball, 0-2. Clark started the season really, really well for ECA. Had a 1.55 ERA 1 appearance ago. And then he gave up 8 earned runs against P27 last time out. Trying to get his 2nd out in a row. 0-2 to Catron with Barnes on deck. Runners on the move. Line drive left center. Catron shoots it into the gap, and it's down. Bernie comes in to score. De La Cruz getting the late stop sign, and he scrambles back to 3rd. It's a double for Jack Catron, and it's 9-5. The runners had a head start, and because of that, I thought that they might get aggressive and try to score De La Cruz. But trying to make sure that they don't take the bat out of their hitter's hands here. It's 2nd and 3rd, 1 out for Nemo Barnes, who had a base hit his last time, and he takes an outside corner strike to start his 4th trip to the plate. He is 1 for 2, a single and a fly out, and he walked his first time. Infield back for ECA. Foul tip, strike 2. Eli Thomas on deck, wearing the number 42 jersey. Kingsmen wrapping up their 4th time through the order in 6 innings. Thomas the last to hit. Nemo Barnes fights off the 0-2. Max Clark came in a tough spot, relieving Chase Chrisman, who was unable to get out of the 6th inning. He has given up 2 fly balls, one of which dropped. 0-2, another foul ball. Nemo Barnes making him work. Still 0-2. The left-hander set at the waist in his pitch. Barnes high in the air, shallow right. Long run into foul ground for Liriano. That ball drops, and it drops foul. Barnes will jog back to the plate. Would have been interested to see if that ball was catchable. 1, if it had been caught, if they would try to tag up De La Cruz with 1 away, and 2, if the infielder would intentionally drop the ball to avoid the opportunity for the runner to come in. We have seen teams do that before. albeit in closer ball games than the current scoreline. A 4-run game as it stands. Another 0-2 to the right-handed hitter. And he struck out Nemo with the high heat. First strikeout for Clark since coming in out of the pen, and he'll face Thomas with runners on second and third and 2 out. First pitch to the Kingsmen second baseman. Thomas taps it to third, fielded cleanly by Johnson. Across the diamond, scooped by Liriano at first. And that ends the inning. ECA finds a way out of the jam, but not before 2 more runs score. Titani and Bernie come around to make it 9-5. We'll head bottom 6 when we return Varsity Baseball here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Bottom 6 here at ECA. First game of 3 this afternoon. First game of 3 in this series for the varsity team. Griffith back on the mound for the bottom of the 6th. He drops in a first pitch fastball. Tegan Nickerson, the leadoff man for the Bobcats. The ECA catcher at the plate for the third time. He is 0 for 2. A 1 pitch at the knees, and it is 0-2 to the catcher. Grounded into a fielder's choice his last time. He did come around to score on the double by Mac Wiggins that cleared the bases. Oh, 2, right down the heart of the plate. Don't know what else Nickerson was looking for. He's down looking for out number 1. One out for Griffith and the Kingsmen. That's inside to Bryce Weeks. He has walked twice. Walked by Rayleigh once, walked by Griffith the other time to the plate. Breaking ball high, and he is ahead 2-0 here. Can't really call him a magnet. I don't know, what's the opposite of a magnet? That's what he is to the baseball here, but it finds the bat on the 2-0. Bernie across the diamond, low, and Clark unable to scoop it out. It's an error on the third baseman. An unfortunate one to allow a base runner aboard here with one away. Weeks does not try for second, and he will be pinch run for by the looks of it here in the 6th inning. So runner on first, one out. 4-run ball game in a big secondary as Griffith drops that outside fastball on the corner. It's 0-1. Bottom of the order up for ECA. Mac Wiggins had a double into right center field his last time to the plate. Quick throw over to first. Back safely goes Bryce Weeks. Weeks was actually pinch hit for in that last at-bat, but he came back in as the runner. Isaiah Cora, the one credited with reaching on the error. Another throw over to first. Griffith out of the stretch. Catron back to first, threw it low, but Clark got two hands on it. One ball and one strike now after that one was in the dirt. The 1-1 on the outside corner to make it 1-2. One, two, runner on the move. Ball is low and away, throw down to second, tails into center. It's a stolen base for Weeks. Now 2-2, the Kingsmen were asking about a swing, but no official appeal made and no swing called. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on second base. Breaking ball inside, count is full. Three and two. Top of the order for ECA up next. And Griffith loses him. 1 out walk puts runners on second and first. And Landry Cornegay will come up for the 4th time. Cornegay is 0 for 1. A.J. Griffith pitching on the mound to the ECA right fielder. Curveball in at the knees for a called strike. Spring is in the air here at Goldsboro. A cooler day, but still plenty of pollen, some allergies getting in the way today. We apologize. There's a curveball low in the zone, called a strike. There's strike number 2. Cornegay's 0 for 1 today. Reached on a walk twice and reached on an error. He's reached every time to the plate for the Bobcats. Runner on the move for third. Outside corner. Throw down. Got him! Strike him out. Throw him out. Double play to end the inning. And I don't think the Kingsmen realized it. It was an outside corner strike to ring up Landry Cornegay, and they threw out Weeks at third to end the inning. We head to the 7th. Kingsmen up 4 here on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Back here for the 7th inning on the Kingsmen Baseball Network. Kingsmen in Eastern Carolina Academy. And it's Max Clark back on the mound to face the top of the Kingsmen order. Caden McNeil takes the ball to start the at-bat. It's the 5th time through the order. Back here for the 7th. We go top 7. One ball, no strikes. McNeil trying to kickstart this inning for the Kingsmen. 2 big hits today. He takes an inside corner strike to make it 1-1. Logan Daniel on deck, then Dino Catani. All of whom have hits. Outside. 2 balls and a strike. Reminder that today is not just the one game. We will play another varsity conference game between the Kingsmen and the Bobcats about half an hour after this game is concluded. Then the Kingsmen prospect team will take on the ECA Premier Squad to wrap up the night. There's a foul tip, strike 2 to make it a full count. Logan Daniel is on deck. Full count to McNeil. And a foul ball off of the catcher to keep the at-bat alive. McNeil has had a day to remember. 2 triples and a hit by pitch. He has 1 strikeout. It's the lone time he did not reach base. Full count. McNeil trying to reach. The pitch from Clark. And a tapper foul to the first base side. Another payoff. And another foul ball. McNeil is making Max Clark work to start the inning. This is the 9th pitch already. And a strikeout. Swing and a miss for McNeil, one away, but a good at-bat worked by the Kingsman center fielder. 9-pitch at-bat to start this 7th frame. And here's Logan Daniel. The lefty out of the windup. First pitch to third. And Daniel laces it to the first base side. Foul ground, 0-1. Daniel pops up the bunt. Easy play for Clark, 2 away. Dino Catani up with 2 away after the bunt attempt by Logan Daniel. And Catani is started with a strike on the outside half of the zone. Nice and sunny in Goldsboro here this afternoon, but it's not exactly hot. Swing and a miss to make it 0-2. High of 66 today in Goldsboro, North Carolina, a little bit east of Raleigh. It's supposed to get up into the low 80s. Partly cloudy. In the final game of the series for the Kingsmen. There's your Kingsman weather forecast as Catani hits a foul ball back to the chain link fence behind home plate. It remains 0-2. Left on left matchup. Catani trying to extend this inning. 0-2 pitch from Clark. Took it high for a ball. Bottom 7, it'll be Liriano, Summerlin, and Stroud. ECA will need to get many more to the plate in order to come back and win the series opener. 1-2, outside corner, rung up Catani for the strikeout. 2 Ks in the inning for Max Clark. He's got 3 strikeouts in the ball game total. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Kingsmen looking to hold the Bobcats for one last time. Bottom 7 here in Goldsboro. Kingsmen 3 outs away from victory, but they've got to get through the best hitters in the ECA lineup, 2, 3, 4. And if Griffith can throw a few more like that, he might be okay. That's a beauty of a curveball for strike 1 to Max Liriano, the ECA first baseman, 1 for 3, had a single and a stolen base this last time. 0 for 1 for the right-hander out of Newton. Goes back to the curve, but left it a couple inches further off the plate. It's 1-1. Summerland and Stroud following Max Liriano, then Clark Johnson and Alex Estevez, the next couple in the waiting. 1-1. Spike the fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Second game will begin about half an hour after the conclusion of this one, so look for it to begin slightly after 2 o'clock here on the East Coast. It is set to be Nemo Barnes on the mound for the Kingsmen in that ball game. Inside. Liriano got out of the way. It's 3-1. One more varsity game this afternoon, and then the Kingsmen prospect team battling the ECA Premier Squad. And time called just before Griffith started his motion. Griffith has done a heck of a job out of the pen. He has thrown plenty of pitches in a number of his relief outings. 3-1. And he missed. It's a walk.
Good ground ball.
Griffith, no stranger to going multiple innings out of the pen, but this pitch count is his second highest tally of the season. It's his most pitches since March 6th when he pitched against Georgia Premier and threw 85 pitches over 3 1/3 in relief. There's a poked line drive to shallow left, and it's down in front of De La Cruz. A base hit to make things a little bit more interesting here. Summerlin singles, and it'll be Jamison Stroud with runners on. Griffith has been without an earned run in 3 of his 4 last appearances on the mound. Currently, all 5 runs that were scored in this ballgame by ECA were unearned. He is responsible for the 2 runners on right now. Summerlin swings and lashes out at one, but he hit it well foul. Smoked it into the trees down the left field line, and it is 0-1. Second and first. Nobody away here. Kingston 3 outs from victory, up 4. That's a curveball that just missed the top of the zone. Could not have missed by much. So 1 ball and 1 strike now after not getting the call in his favor. Griffith will look to recover here. Stroud is 1 for 3. He has grounded out to Logan Daniel twice and has singled. That is high. Some noise coming from the ECA dugout. Trying to get back into this one. They led by 2 after the bottom of the 4th, but the Kingsmen have scored the last 6 runs of this ball game. Had 9-5. 2-1 from A.J. Griffith. Doesn't get it at the knees. 3 balls and a strike. Clark Johnson on deck. Grounded into a double play his last time, but he, by the looks of it, will come up in a big spot. 3-1. Line drive left center. Into the gap. De La Cruz to the wall to retrieve it. 1 run scores. Rounding third, coming around to Summerlin. It's a 2-run double, and it's 9-7. We have got ourselves a ball game here in Goldsboro. Jamison Stroud in the cleanup spot gets the job done, his second hit of the game. It is 9-7, and the tying run comes up to the plate here with nobody out. Clark Johnson, the hitter. Here comes Joe Hudak, and a point to the bullpen. A.J. Griffith with big work out of the pen in relief of Rayleigh, but he will not finish this game. Kingsman closer in when we come back on the Kingsman Baseball Network. Back here in the 7th, Nehemiah Barnes, who is scheduled to start in one of the 3 games of this series, is going to try to close this one out and win game 1. The tying run is at the plate. It's a pinch hitter, Riley Czekowski, hitting in place of Clark Johnson. Runner on second and nobody out. Nemo's first pitch is a strike dropped by Catron, but called a strike on the inside corner. A.J. Griffith came in the 3rd. Got plenty of big outs. Ran into some trouble in the 7th. The first 3 hitters reached. Barnes trying to get the Kingsmen over the finish line. That ball hit out to right. It's caught. A chance to double him up. They go to second base. And a huge mistake by Stroud. Brody Winan, who's back in there in right field, jumped all over that baseball. And Stroud, who was aggressive trying to get to 3rd, has been doubled off. And there are 2 outs here in the 7th. First pitch swinging a foul ball from Estevez. And that there, folks, is how quickly a game can change. ECA had the tying run at the plate with nobody out. And now they are down to their final out, down 2 with the bases empty. 0-1 from Barnes. Ground ball to the second base side. Eli Thomas to first. And the Kingsmen win the ball game. A back and forth affair with drama at the late stages. But the Kingsmen find a way to win. And the final score, 9-7. Kingsmen win. We'll be back in half an hour with the conclusion of this ball game, or rather this doubleheader for the varsity team, and then it'll be the prospects' turn. We'll be back in half an hour with a new stream right here on the Kingsman YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. I'm Griffin Leonard saying so long. We'll see you in a bit. Once again, the final score, 9-7. Kingsman beat ECA right here on the Kingsman Baseball Network.